Hello, hello. Welcome to another week of meal prep. Continuing along this entire budget-friendly vibe, I just want to put a little disclaimer that I know that ingredients do not cost the same around the world. What is cost effective for us may probably be really expensive for you guys, and vice versa. So all these ingredients are just things that I would assume in general are quite cost effective. So in saying that, this week I did take a little trip down to my local market, and I will highly recommend this. Like, this like wet market kind of vibes. So mine is South Melbourne Market. If you live in Melbourne, Queen Vic Market, South Melbourne Market, any of those kind of markets, they will always kind of have like a clearance section. And so I went to one of the stalls. I managed to get my hands on an entire box. I will literally show it to you right now. All of that for $10. $10, which is absolute steal in this economy. This is kind of more of, I guess, like an inspiration video. So I basically got a bunch of veggies that I normally do not buy. If these vegetables are easily accessible and cost effective for you in your country, then that's amazing. As per usual, we are going to do sides, carbs, and meat and sauces. Anyways, let's just get to the video. right, so you guys know how much I love me some canned tuna because I find it is a great source of protein while being really low in calorie. I always get the spring water one. This is going to be a nice little spin on, those viral salmon or tuna and rice bakes. And so I'm just popping 3 large cans of that tuna into a bowl with some hoisin sauce. I think I used about maybe like 2 tablespoons. And then I know it's going to sound really weird, but I add about 2 tablespoons of crunchy peanut butter. And that is because I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a satay flavor. And you already know I'm adding some of that everything but the bagel seasoning because it's garlic, onion, and sesame seeds. So what more could you want from life, I'm also going to add a little bit of furikake, which is a rice seasoning blend. You can also just add in some chopped up seaweed / nori sheets. And then you're going to pop it into a tray and bake that for about 30 minutes. I just topped mine with a little bit more furikake. I actually baked that while the chicken was baking too. And voila, there you go. It's like the tuna bake without the rice. Growing up, we actually had this iconic breakfast / snack, which is called the tea egg. And this right here is just going to be my version of it. This is not authentic by any means at all. I just start by soft boiling a bunch of eggs. I actually undercook them, so I only actually cook them for about 5 minutes. And then I'm just going to pop this into the container for now, drain that water, and I'm going to bring in some of that stock. I did reserve some from earlier. I'm just going to put some of that into a pan, and this is where the tea part comes in. I'm using this really herbally tea blend. You could use normal black tea. Then I'm just going to add a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of salt, and then about 1 spoonful of sweetener. Again, I just use that coconut nectar. You don't need to let it cook. You just kind of need to let the water boil again so that the tea can steep. And then I just turn off the heat once the water starts boiling. And then you're going to crack all the eggs and then pour in that brine and then just let those eggs marinate. But full disclosure, later on, I ended up fully peeling all my eggs just for ease and convenience.
for this next sauce, we are going to keep it really nice and simple. We're just going to add in about a 1/4 cup of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of sweetener of your choice. I just use maple syrup. And of course, you just know I can't go without my crispy chili oil. So a good spoonful of that. And then the juice of 1 lime. You can use other kind of like acidic sauces for that, like rice wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, but I just find the lime juice really like gives it that nice little punch. And then I just added a little bit of chopped spring onion, shook it all up, and voila. Now for this next one, again, really simple. We're going to use some of that lemongrass again, since we already have it from the chicken. About 1.5 tablespoons of that, another 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup / other sweetener, 1 teaspoon of everything but the bagel seasoning, and then 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, and then just about like 2 tablespoons of water. Again, like with my sauces, I kind of just like taste it as I go. You know, if I need a little bit more salt like that one, I'll just add a little bit more salt. All right, so moving on to the zucchini. I have definitely shown using zucchini in a variety of ways, like roasting it or spiralizing it and making zucchini noodles. However, this time around, I kind of just wanted to switch it up and do almost like a zucchini slice. So we're just going to start by grating up all the zucchini. I did end up using about half of the zucchini that's in this bowl, so I think I used like 4. And then I just had all this other squash as well, which I also just grated into that as well. And then you're going to need to drain as much of the liquid as possible from the zucchini. So you basically just do that by grabbing handfuls and then squeezing it over another bowl and just like draining out all the excess liquid. You can also use a cheesecloth for this, whatever, but I don't have a cheesecloth. So get rid of that liquid. We're going to add in 2 eggs. And then, of course, we're using everything but the bagel seasoning. I kind of just put a liberal amount of that in there. And then we're actually going to use buckwheat flour. So buckwheat flour is gluten-free and it's high in protein. I just added like 1/3 of a cup of that with some salt and a splash of fish sauce. The fish sauce is definitely optional. I kind of just like that umami flavor. And then we're going to add in about a teaspoon of baking powder. And then I added about a handful of grated cheese. You know, cheese just kind of improves everything. So then you're going to pop that into 2 baking dishes. I chose to air fry these. You could definitely just bake them in a normal oven. I ended up air frying them for 30 minutes at 160 degrees. Okay, so you would have noticed that I didn't actually meal prep any carbs in this video, and that is because I had so much leftover rice from this dinner event that I had the week prior. And so I literally just used this rice hack that I have in my last video. I'm just going to insert a little clip of it right here, but it's basically when I when I freeze the rice into portion-sized rectangles, and I just pop them into a Ziploc bag, and you just have rice for days and days and days. And so it's super, super easy and convenient hack, and I highly recommend trying it out. Next dish is kind of inspired by one of those like chopped Italian sandwiches that I've just seen going viral. This is my little take on it. So we're adding in some of that chicken. We're just going to start chopping it up real nice. And to add some veggies and fiber, I'm going to add some of that Brussels sprouts raw. And then I'm also adding some pickles. This is optional, but it just adds such a nice little tangy crunch to it as well. Chop that all together. Yeah, chop it up real good, you know. And I'm just using rye sourdough, and I'm gonna add some of that chili jam to it for a little bit of flavor, and then fill it up with some of that chicken mixture. And now I'm just adding a little bit of cheese because I imagine it's gonna be like a really nice cheesy toasty. So I'm adding that to a pan with just a tiny bit of butter, just to toast it up on both sides and make the cheese go all like melty and gooey, and to heat up the chicken as well. And then for the rest of the chicken, I actually just added that to a bowl with some mushrooms just for a little bit more veggies. And then this is actually just gonna be 2 portions, so half a sandwich each, just to like cut down on carbs a little bit, you know? And voila, this was a 10 out of 10.